So in this problem, everybody, it says, which of the following cannot be X? So let's go ahead and mark this as the first opportunity for us to see potentially what we may have done wrong if we tried this out before I started working on this. So again, which of the following cannot, let's circle that, cannot be X. All right, so it says the 9 numbers, all of these in X, have a median of 7. So let me just count that. 9 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 with that missing number X. Okay, great. Sounds good. So it says that the median here is 7. So if I go ahead and draw out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces, I know that the median is going to be 7 right here. It says, again, a median of 7. That means that my middle value, my value that is directly in the middle of all of these, is going to be 7. When we have 9, you're going to have 4 on the left, 4 on the right, and 1 in the middle. This is where our median belongs, right there. My party people, before I continue, regardless if we're confused or not, can we agree that so far in the setup, we have 9 spots because of the 9 numbers, and the middle, the median value, is 7. Can we agree with that before we continue on with the rest of this little idea that we got going on? Perfect. So now let's move it forward and let me show you how we'll handle this. 7 is the middle number. As I'm placing these values on this list, everything that's 7 or less is going to go to the left side, and everything that is 7 or more on the right side. And carefully pay attention. I said 7 or less or 7 or more, right? So we just have to go ahead and leave any extra 7s kind of lingering. But I see that there's a 7 potentially right there. So cool, we'll go ahead and just mark that one off right now. With the other numbers, -4, 0, 3, and 5, all of those on a number line are to the left of 7. These are all smaller than 7. And we have how many values that are less? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's perfect. I'll go ahead and write all of those right there. I also then have 3 numbers greater than 7 at 9, 12, and 15 that even though we have 4 spots, I don't know if the 9 is here or there. And because I don't know where it is, I'll just say that, hey, look, I know for a fact it's on the right side, and we have 9, 12, and 15 for a fact on the right side. So when we think about that, everybody, when we think about this, the missing value X, and just for the sake of this, I'll just say like 9, 12, and 15. When we think about this, does X have to be greater than or equal to 7 or smaller than or equal to 7? What does X have to be for it to fit in this list? Does it have to be greater than or equal to 7 or smaller or less than or equal to 7? Yeah, it has to be greater. X has to be greater. So we can go ahead and say this here. Look, we can say the missing number has to be greater than or equal to 7. And the reason I say or equal to is because if it's also 7, we're totally fine. We're actually completely fine because we can move these over here and we can write a 7 right there. The median stays 7. So that's what I meant by that. So we can have 7, we can have 8, we can have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yada, yada, yada. We can have 100, we can have a million, we can have a billion. As long as it's bigger than 7, we're fine. So my party people, when we read the question carefully, which of the following cannot be X, what is the opposite of greater than or equal to 7? What is the opposite of greater than or equal to 7? The opposite would be less, right? The exact opposite would be less than 7. And the only value that does not fit the bill, that's less than 7, is answer choice B. All of the other values would fit. 10 would work. Take a look over here. 10 would absolutely work. I can move the 9 over here. I could put the 10 right here. It would work. The median is still 7. I can also use 7, just like I showed you earlier. So that works, that works. 20 would also work. I can move the 12 over here, 15 over there, and I could put the 20 right there. It would still work. And so because the question asks, which of the following cannot be X, well, we're asking which of these values are not greater than or equal to 7. And 6 is the only one. So hopefully that makes sense, my party people, and you'll have plenty of opportunities to continue trying this out. All right, next question. The question reads, how many meters is that? Okay, so how many meters is whatever we're given going to be? Sounds good. So we have blank meters is what we're trying to get to, and we begin at 420 centimeters in length. Okay, sounds good. So what we want to understand from the very get-go is that we're beginning with centimeters and we're trying to get to meters. So we have to understand the conversion between centimeters and meters. So that conversion is going to be the following. That conversion is going to be 1 meter is not 1,000. This is a very common mistake that people make. Very common mistake is people say that 1 meter is 1,000 centimeters, which is not the case. 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. A centimeter is 100th, not 1,000th. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters right there, 100 centimeters. So again, it would be 1,000 if it were millimeters, not centimeters. So that's what we have. And because we know that we're trying to get to meters, which is in this conversion, the unit with the 1 on it, my party people, what's that going to be? Is that multiplication or division? Yeah, that is going to be division. That's right. That is only going to be division. So with that said, booyah, to get 2 meters, we know that we need to divide because we're getting to that singular unit there. So we are going to divide by that number, that 100, and that's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. So let's set up that division and let's handle it with grace and keep it moving forward. So 100 goes into 420. How many times? Well, 100 goes into 4, can't. 42, it can't. But 420, it'll go in there 4 times. So we have 4 right there, nice and easy. And 4 times 100 is 400. Taking that away, and we get 20 left over. So just like before, we can't abandon the remainder. We cannot abandon it. We have to use that decimal place, and we have to continue going from there. So with that, there's that 0. Drop it down, and we have 200. But we got to make sure we put that decimal place where it belongs. And now, my party people, how many times does 100 go into 200? Yeah, that's going to end up being twice. So boom, we'll write that 2 right there. We'll subtract the 200, and we have no remainder. There we are, 4.2, and that is going to be 4.2 meters. And there it is. Answer choice C is the correct answer. And there we are, my party people.